What's good, Washington fans? Happy Friday. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Thanks for rocking with me for the past 3 days. Talking about minicamp. So I'm going to do the 5 standouts from mandatory minicamp. So first guy we're going to start out with is Cam Sims. Cam Sims had a great camp. Now, I say the same thing every time about Cam Sims, is that he's like Terrell Owens, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss in practice. We just have to see it translate in the games. The guy had a solid year last year. I thought he played pretty well. Had about 400 something yards. Had a touchdown, and really played well in that playoff game against the Buccaneers. He had the drop that made everybody mad. But for the most part, he had 100 yards receiving in that game, and that's a darn good defense. That's a solid defense. Him and Taylor Heineke, they have great chemistry. It sounds like in minicamp that him and Fitzpatrick have a great chemistry as well. Even on that first day of OTAs, Ron Rivera talked about how Ryan Fitzpatrick threw over a back shoulder fade to Cam Sims where they connected on day one. So, and I think Cam Sims will be a great target for Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think minicamp that this definitely helped him lock his receiver spot. I know we got a long way to go with training camp and preseason, so anything can happen. But honestly, I think after that first 4 lock of wide receivers of Terry, Diami, Curtis, and Adam Humphries, I think Cam Sims is starting to solidify that spot. You just can't teach that height, 6'5", and that talent and the athleticism. I mean, he has stuff that other guys just don't have. And then you remember the plays that he had against William Jackson, our cornerback one, going up the ladder, climbing the ladder to make that catch. I mean, 2 catches on William Jackson. Once again, who was our cornerback one is a darn good corner, physical corner, very competitive, and Cam Sims was making catches on him. So Cam Sims definitely stood out and made another name for himself out there. Just want to say it translate more to the field. I think he will be that 5th option. I definitely have him as a lock and making the roster. And I think Fitz or Heineke will be able to find him during the regular season. I'm expecting maybe 25, 30 catches, 400 yards once again. He just has to lock in and focus on catching the football every single time. When we did have better quarterback play, Cam Sims' numbers went up a lot. I mean, remember the Giants game? Kyle Allen made that back shoulder fade to him in the end zone to tie the game, or almost tie the game. I think that was right before we did the freaking 2-point conversion. And then we played the Giants again. He had like 100-something yards off of Alex Smith. Off of 3 catches, he had 100 yards. And then that Steelers game. So I'm excited to see Cam Sims come back and play this year. He definitely will make the roster. I have him as a lock. Next guy is Benjamin StJuice. Juice. Ben StJuice showed out. He showed out. Now, I'm not going to get too hyped up because remember Jimmy Moreland had like 3 pick sixes in minicamp, and we got hyped up after that. And then we heard about Troy Apke in training camp and how good he was. So I'm going to temper my expectations. But Ben StJuice, he sounded like the real deal. He was guarding Terry a lot in camp. Day 2, they went at him 4 times, and he broke up the passes each time. And then he did disrespect Terry and stepped over. So he's very competitive. 6'3". Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio love him. Some teams try to trade up for him. Ron Rivera, every time he talks about Benjamin StJuice, he has nothing but good things to say. That he's very disciplined. He has great vision. He's always where he's supposed to be. Very competitive, very physical. And, he can, everybody's saying he can help, him and Will Jackson. They potentially could be the starters on the outside and kick Kendall Fuller in to that slot position. So that would make it very interesting having 2 long, tall, lanky corners with long wingspans behind this nasty defensive line. So it could get real nasty for NFC East receivers. It can get real murky, real tough for those guys. We have William Jackson. He shows up what he's supposed to and does what he's supposed to do. And then on the other side, we have Ben StJuice blocking other guys down on the other side. So Ben StJuice definitely could be an X factor coming up this year. He did really well in OTAs too. He had a couple of interceptions on Terry McLaurin where he ripped the ball away from him. So he's definitely showing out. He could definitely be another 3rd-round gem, including with Antonio Gibson and Terry McLaurin. So I heard nothing but good things from Ben StJuice. So he was definitely another standout there. Next is Bobby McCain. Picked him up over the offseason. He's supposed to be the free safety, and he can play slot corner. Picked him up on a 1-year deal for, I think it was $1 million. I gotta look this up. I think it was only $850,000. I gotta remember this and look this up. But he has a very affordable contract. Was the team captain for the Dolphins coming over here. Was a really solid free safety for them. Was a team leader, great communicator. And the Dolphins, you look at this, they had the best 3rd down defense in the NFL last year, and you can attribute that to Bobby McCain's communication on that back end. Has great range, great football skills, breaking down on the football and making pass breakups. So Bobby McCain had 2 interceptions yesterday, one on Heineke and one on Fitz, both in red zone drills. I just heard that he's been all over the place and was a ball hawk in practice. So we definitely want to see that translate to the field. Like I said yesterday, last year, we were looking for a free safety to step up. DeShazer Everett did a solid job. I thought Jeremy Reeves did a solid job as well. But Bobby McCain is just more of that natural free safety where he can just stay back there in a single high defense and we can just let him, run sideline to sideline and make plays on the back end. So Bobby McCain, from what I heard, did a great job out there getting those interceptions and breaking passes up and being a great leader and being a communicator. Next was Amari Brown. Amari Brown, that's my favorite pick of the draft. I said every time. He burnt Ben StJuice yesterday for like a 50-yard catch from Taylor Heineke. He's just playing well. I mean, Ron Rivera talks about his speed and how fluid he is, how smooth he looks, and he's going to be that third option, man. The guy averaged 20 yards per catch in college, and it showed. Reporters, John Com said he's just running by guys almost every single time. So heard nothing but good things about Amari Brown. I mean, he's going to be another deep threat, and him and Fitz or Heineke, I think he's the perfect wide receiver for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick wants to throw the ball deep, and Amari Brown, that's his specialty. I'm expecting a couple pass interferences, not just him catching the ball deep, but he's going to force some pass interferences. Just how fast he is, love his swag, his competitiveness. This guy is confident. He's going to go out there and make plays. He's a tough go-getter. Didn't drop a contested catch last year in college. So this guy, he definitely could be the real deal. He's going to be a third option next to Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin. But Diami's going to be really, really, really good. The fifth guy, or is this the fourth or fifth guy? So we did Bobby McCain, Cam Sims, Ben StJuice, and Diami. The fifth guy is Taylor Heineke. So I'm going to read this article from Michael Phillips, who's a beat reporter for the Washington football team. He said that Taylor Heineke outplayed Ryan Fitzpatrick in minicamp. So glowing reviews, man. And Ron Rivera did say this is going to be a real competition, whether you believe him or not. This is what Ron Rivera is saying. So Taylor Heineke, there could be an opportunity for him to go out there and start day one. He bulked up, gained 15 pounds, got stronger. The knock on him is that he gets hurt every game. But he's like, nah, I'm getting stronger. I'm ready for these hits. And Heineke, he's a baller, man. He's just fearless. He goes out there and plays hard. He's calm in the pocket. He controls the pocket. He throws guys open. He throws with anticipation. He's a smart guy, man. I mean, what was he in grad school? Taking classes before he got signed to the practice squads and being the COVID quarterback. So the guy is smart. He has guts. I mean, he'll dive out there for the touchdown. You saw what he did in that playoff game. I mean, the guy has heart. And his teammates believe in him too. So he had a nice pass to Amari Brown for a 50-yard bomb. Had a nice 50-yard bomb to Kelvin Harmon as well. Then there was also a time in the red zone drill where he moved around the pocket. He was just cool, calm, and let the guys got outside of the pocket and found AGG in the corner for a touchdown. So he's made some really, really good plays, and he's familiar. He does have the advantage of knowing the offense because he's been with Scott Turner in Carolina and Ron Rivera in Carolina. So Taylor Heineke he does have that one leg up, and he's a mobile quarterback, so he can make plays too. So I would not sleep on Taylor Heineke beating out Fitz. If he plays well in preseason, man, and people are talking about the money with Fitz, we're paying him $10 million. I get it, but you remember what happened with Russell. I'm not comparing to Russell Wilson, but I remember the Seahawks, they paid Matt Flynn to come in as a free agent quarterback, and Russell Wilson just played so well in preseason. He's just like, you got to start the guy. So if Ron Rivera is a man of his word talking about competition this year, unlike how he didn't really make it a competition last year, then Taylor Heineke couldn't come out there and ball out, man. I heard nothing but good things about Taylor Heineke, man. And then my last standout, so this is another quote from Pete Haley as well. He said, my biggest impression from minicamp is that Taylor Heineke might not be the one-hit wonder we all thought he was. Ryan Fitzpatrick is still the starter as of now, but the guy can play. And it's not just because Tampa Bay had no idea who he was. So more glowing reviews for Taylor Heineke. We'll see what the guy can do, man. Next, those were my 5 guys, but honorable mention is Jared Patterson. Of course, Chase Young. Chase Young did his thing. We had to think about the voluntary OTAs, but he came in, he was a leader, yelling at guys to run off the sideline, was a captain, having fun with that guy. His name's like Devereaux Lawrence or something like that. He was just, poking fun at him where he was like running out from the training camp facility. Chase Young was just having a good time with the guys, being a leader. Montez Sweat was batting passes around. And Adam Humphrey stood out as well. Him and his connection with Ryan Fitzpatrick, I like the signing of Adam Humphries. I have him as that 4th wide receiver, and he's more of a natural slot guy. So I'm looking forward to see Adam Humphries play too. I'm thinking about 400 to 500 yards receiving this year for Adam Humphries, and I think that's pretty solid for a slot wide receiver for being a fourth option. So I'm looking forward to see Adam Humphries go out there and play. And Jason was beating Charles Lynn on a couple plays. So that's just expected. Montez Sweat was getting back there too. So those guys stood up. That was my honorable mention. But Jared Patterson was doing really well, catching passes out of the backfield. So Randy Jordan is very excited to see Jared Patterson, the undrafted free agent out of Buffalo. So we'll see if he can put some pressure and make the roster. If they're going to keep 3 or 4. If they keep 4, he's going to make the roster. If they keep 3, then I don't know. He might be on a practice squad. But Jared Patterson caught some passes out of the backfield. He's making guys misses. And he's super fast, super quick, and super shifty. He's just getting out of there and getting big yardage. So those were my 5 standouts and some honorable mention guys. You guys let me know what you guys think. Everybody have a great weekend. Hell to the football team. Peace.